Peace, fam. What good? It's your man, Ocean. We back at it. Freedom fight continue. Very much appreciate your time for being here with me. A lot of places in the YouTube universe you could have been at, but we back again. Yeah, what's up, man? I just got a little article that I ran across on reparations, and I just wanted to. I read a couple interesting points in it, so I decided let me just read it on camera with the family. You feel me? So that's what I'm about to do, and of course I'm gonna, you know, add and take away where need be. It's your boy Ocean, man. Look, it says why reparations to African Americans are necessary. How to start now. Well, I definitely agree we need to start now. So, but it says 5 generations on Smith's plantation, Beaufort, at South Carolina in 1862. Timothy H. O'Sullivan, Library of Congress. Rhonda E. Howard Hassman, Wilfrid Laurier University. This okay. All right. It said in a 2016 poll, 58% of African Americans, that's a low number, said that they believe that the United States should pay financial reparations to African Americans who are descendants of slaves. Only 15% of whites agreed. Yeah, that's a that's a very low number. 58% of black people actually agree that we deserve reparation, knowing the history of what we've been through to even get to this point where we at right now with all the odds that have been stacked against us. I would be thinking more along the lines of 85 to 90% of people. But, I can't judge people for not feeling how I feel. I'm just saying, I definitely thought the number would have been higher. But it says, I am a white woman. I support reparations to African Americans. I have published academic articles on the issue, including official apologies. I am the author of Reparations to Africa and the co-editor of The Age of Apology. So, in your spare time or whatever, you might want to check out some of those works that this lady did. I'm sure you can find it. I'm sure it's easy to find. It said that the Africans of the slave bark. The Africans of the slave bark Library of Congress. In 2005, the United Nations issued a short document which outlined the basic guidelines on the right to a remedy and reparation for victims of gross violations of human rights law. So in 2005, the United Nations issued a document with the guidelines, all right? But we ain't seen none of this shit happen. But I guess they're just an acknowledgement that, damn, we done treated these people very, very badly over the years for me watching my language. We done treated these people very, very badly over the years, and let's at least tell them we see them over there. That's what that is. We recognize y'all, but it's time for this ball. It's time to get this thing rolling. Right now is a beautiful time in the world, man, because black people finally got the attention of the world on what the real issue at hand is, and the real issue is not what they've been telling you this whole time. It is the real issue. To just tie it in a nutshell is white supremacy and systematic oppression and white privilege, and it's being placed up under a microscope now. So this is a beautiful time. This is definitely a beautiful time to keep on further asserting ourselves and coming for the power that is there for the taking. it's for us to take. It ain't there for the taking, but it's for us to take. Cause we know they're not gonna give it to us, but right now it's definitely the time to be on the attack and be aggressive and standing firm on your blackness. And let's make these motherfuckers aware and keep on making them more aware of the situation that we've been facing the whole time. And that's the only way that we're gonna keep their attention. It ain't time to, get back to normal. I keep hearing people talking about they're ready to get back to normal. No, this is the new normal. We going toward a new normal. We going toward a new normal. So don't worry about that old shit. Cause even though we coming for reparations for black and black only, but once you put the black man back in his proper place in society, that automatically elevate the whole society anyway. I mean, that's the law of nature, and that's the way it works. But the shit got to be balanced out, and it took 500 years to get us to this point. So you looking at it 500 years in the opposite direction to even get it at an even. But we got to start somewhere, and somewhere is right now, and the somewhere is gonna manifest itself in the form of reparations. All right. Now it says, I'm sorry. Financial compensation is the one aspect of reparations mentioned in this document. Oh, it says, I'm sorry, let me get it. Financial compensation is one aspect of reparations mentioned in this document, but it is not the only one. Apology is important. So is commemoration, tributes to victims, and an accurate account of violations. I mean, I'm not gonna sit up and argue against any of those points, because those are definitely, important things to reparation. But the most vital part of it, before anything, before we even get any deeper in the article, the most vital part of reparations is getting that check started, and it's up with close to 20 trillion, 17, 18 trillion dollars for that. Only black people, descendants of American slaves, got access to that check, okay? No undermining, no slick backhand maneuvers to give everybody access to this check. This has got to be a black only thing, man. That's the only way it's considered reparations for what slavery did to us, and what slavery got separated the wealth gap to this point right here, where black people in America only got 2%, 2.6% of the wealth in America. And white people got up with close to 90%. But at the same time, black people are, according to their bullshit ass numbers, like 17, 18, 20% of the world, but we never been in a minority. So how in the fuck is it possible for us black people to survive? That's what all your celebrities, your Kanye West and his $1 billion, everybody added in there together for that are supposed to be black. And you add all that and we still don't come up to number 2.6%. Okay? That's not adding up. Not to me. But anyway, let's say okay, we did that. 5 years ago, author and journalist Ta-Nehisi Coates wrote a harrowing account of injustices to African Americans in an article for the Atlantic. The injustices occurred during the period of enslavement, but also the Jim Crow era, the Civil Rights era, and down to the present. Of course, the shit is still going on, definitely. And all you gotta do is click on your Facebook, YouTube feed, or whatever kind of feed, wherever you go to find news, and the oppression is still prevalent. You don't got to look far to see it. It presents itself to you. In this article, Coates called upon all Americans to acknowledge history, including injustices of enslavement, terrorism, plunder, and piracy committed against African Americans. He wants all to be accurately reported. Accurate acknowledgement would be a first step in reparations. I mean, we acknowledging it right now. We acknowledging it right now. It's been fucked up. Who gotta acknowledge it? We need y'all to acknowledge it in the form of a check. We don't even do that. An apology is a second step. So, okay, apologies. I'm just gonna. I ain't read. I'm reading it with y'all right now. Apologies. But give me my check first. Cut me a check, then start with the rest of the shit. To me, if you add me, if you're asking Ocean to tell you the truth about how he feel, start with my motherfucking check. Then I will accept after you cut me a check, I will accept your acknowledgement of how the fuck bad and all of that shit and your apology and all that shit. But first, Jack, I need my check, Jack. For building the fucking country on my back. I ain't asking for shit for free. This shit that we've been through and we've been doing. And our ancestors went through this shit in order for you to stand on 5, 6, 7, 8 generations of wealth that when somebody died, that passed down to you. And you ain't never got to worry about a fallback plan because you got a fallback plan instituted inside of your white privilege is what the truth is about the situation. And of course, I know all white people ain't racist, all white people ain't rich, whatever. It's too goddamn many of y'all motherfuckers for me to sit back here and look and say, this a good one, this a bad one. So, you know what I mean? You ain't got to prove shit to me, but you got to prove it to yourself and you got to prove it to the world. And the way that the only way that we can atone for all of this shit, man, it's y'all motherfuckers got to be uncomfortable, Jack, until we get this shit straight. Look how we been uncomfortable. We've been uncomfortable. Anyway, let me go ahead. But again, it's a white lady wrote the article, but I ain't tripping off of her. I appreciate the sentiment, lady. If you ever run across a nigga reading your article online, I appreciate the sentiment. I'm just saying, but anyway, an apology is a second step, according to these people. Apologies. So many governments, institutions, and private businesses in the United States are implicated in slavery and post-1865 injustices. That's what we just talked about. That it would be impossible for them all to apologize at once. But a good start, that's why I just said, fuck her apology. Thank you for giving me even more clarity on fuck your apology, because it ain't enough apologies to go around. Damn your apology. Keep that shit out of the fucking apologies. Ain't got to be part of reparations to me at all, Jack. Because it ain't enough fucking apologies in the world. If you want to walk up to a nigga and apologize, then do it your goddamn self. I don't want no formal apology from the United States about slavery. Because you knew what the fuck you were doing when you did it. Okay? I don't need no apology. Nah, fuck that. But I'm sorry. Let me get back to the article. I'm sorry when I get worked up like that, chump, but this shit gotta make sense. And so right now, shit ain't making sense to me, so I got worked up, whatever. But I'm back. Let's see, where was I at? For the injustices, it would be impossible. Yeah, it would be impossible for them all to apologize at once. So fuck your apology. That's where I was at. But a good start would be an apology for the slavery by the president of the United States. Fuck him. I don't care. Joined by the governors of every state that permitted enslavement. The text of the apology would have to be carefully negotiated with African American community leaders. No, cause the motherfuckers you talking about, the community leaders you talking about, they gonna let you say some dumbass, stupid ass shit. They gonna be so happy to just be in cahoots with your dumb ass and thinking that you actually sentimental with your apology. No, man, this I'm sorry. This is just my take on this shit. This is just one black first Ocean the Ghost telling the truth on this shit. So if you disagree, feel free to leave the shit in the comment. It's definitely a conversation anyway. It's a conversation anyway. I want to know. I don't expect for a bunch of motherfuckers to think exactly like me. I want to be provocative and let's see. Let's get to the truth of this shit. It says the text of the apology will have to be carefully negotiated with African American community leaders. Them niggas I do not trust right there, but that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day that I need to make time to make. At the bus that it said, and the apology will also have to be carefully surrounded by ritual so that its sincerity and seriousness would be apparent. Fuck your apology. This could be followed by literally thousands of apologies. Cut my check, Jack. That's the apology. That check, you can take that check and substitute it for apology. If you cut my check, I take it as an apology, okay? It said this could be followed by literally thousands of apologies by lower level municipal governments, religious institutions, and businesses. Every single institution will have to investigate its history. And you talking about you delegating some money to some old motherfucking bullshit when that money's supposed to be coming to us in the form of a check. I mean, this is just an article that I'm reading, but it's a conversation like I said, but I'm just pointing out all the flaws, and this is how a motherfucker will make you think that they actually on your side, but pull the bamboozle on you or pull the flim flam on you. Cause at this point later, you better be coming back around to the real point of the check, or I'm gonna see you as a imposter for even writing this article. But hey, let me get into it. Have to investigate the history and acknowledgement for and apologize for every single act of enslavement and discrimination against African Americans. Memorials. The next step would be memorializing these I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that about that lady. I don't even know this lady. Don't even know her name, but I just remember in the first paragraph or whatever she wrote, she said, "I'm a white lady that's for reparations." So I'm sorry, lady. The check come before all of this shit. Cause you wasting money on this shit that go to the check. Anyway, I don't know why I'm arguing with this fucking. The next step would be to memorialize all these injustices. It is not enough to tear down monuments to leaders of the Confederate Army. Memorials should be put at public expense to African Americans who fought against enslavement and later injustices. I guess so. Damn, a memorial. Cut that check. Cut the check first. Then you can do all the rest of this shit later on. Cut the check first. Memorials should also be erected at sites of plantations, sites of protests, and sites of known murders of African Americans, from those who were lynched in decades past to those unjustly killed by police. These memorials are a way to assert that Black Lives Matter. Come on, man. Finally. All the way down the list. Way down the list is financial reparations. This ain't how we gonna write the list this ain't how the shit gonna go when we write it. But anyway, Say financial reparations. We finally get to it. Finally, there is finally. You said it too, right? Finally, there's a. I'm like, damn, ladies, you gonna ever mention what the fuck reparations really started out to be as, and then all the rest of this shit? But you ain't even really hit. I did a video that the Black Authority came out with a list of reparations. I got the list on my page, so you can go and check that out too. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I'll leave a link to the video or whatever on that, so you can check out that list of what reparations actually entails. I'll be sure to leave a link. But it says, finally, there's a question of financial reparations and whether descendants of enslaved people should receive them. How, if at all, can all the descendants of enslaved African Americans be identified? Even if they can be identified, should they receive individual financial reparations? These are all questions. Now I'm gonna give this lady the benefit of the doubt for one last time, because this, I just want to, since I'm on this platform that I'm on, I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as I possibly can be, which we already know that I'm a biased motherfucker. So I'm gonna try to be unbiased, but I'm gonna see exactly how this lady answered these questions that she just put forward to her. Let's read them again. Let me read these questions again so I can be. We gotta pay close attention to the way that she says, how, if at all, can all the descendants of enslaved African Americans be identified? Even if they can be identified, should they receive individual financial reparations? Lady, yes. I can answer the second one easy. And with all the science out here and all the ways that people got to trade information and technology is what I'm trying to say. We can figure out all of that too. But it says perhaps yes, to compensate for the huge gap in mostly inherited, I agree, wealth between white and black Americans. I touched on it earlier. Perhaps African Americans should be given a financial boost. Perhaps. I think we should, to help them to the road to moderate middle class security. But many white and other Americans might view this as unfair to other people who don't enjoy such prosperity. It ain't our fault that you didn't take advantage of your privileges and your whiteness. That's just, I'm sorry. We didn't have these opportunities. We been had these opportunities taken away from us a long time ago. It wasn't even an option for us. It wasn't even no how, no way for us. So, that's something. Life ain't fair. It ain't gonna be fair to them motherfuckers, but this motherfucker ain't been fair to us in 500 years. So, I don't care who it ain't fair to. And if you're true to this shit, this black shit, this black first shit, you don't give a fuck who it ain't fair to either, because you've been living this shit. You know somebody who been, if not you, your damn self personally, you know somebody that been a victim of police brutality. You know somebody that been racially profiled. You know somebody that done got just fucked over at a job because they were black. You part of this shit. So you don't give a fuck how nobody feel. I don't care. I don't care how they feel. Alternately, perhaps the federal and state governments should pay group reparations to African Americans. Whites might be more willing to accept. Who gives a... This ain't about what whites want to accept. This is about atonement for your sin against humanity. So, whites, we don't care what you ain't willing to accept. Did you not see that video? That little white lady said, She was talking to another white lady. She said, "Yes, I'm white. I'm privileged. Yes, I'm white. I'm privileged. I get things. I get to have my way. So it's time for atonement. It's been 500 years of that. Really and truly. That's what it's been 500 years of. So it's time. We can't be sitting up here worried about who get crushed on our way up. It is what it is. God chosen, man. And if we done had we've been suffering, bro. We've been suffering, bro. The whole time. The whole time as a whole, black people been suffering the whole time this 500 years. Don't even mention the 64 missing year. Don't even talk about that. The 64 missing year. That's a whole other shit that I got to get into and you got to get into. Farrakhan dropped it. Don't even talk about them. So it's been a long, hard, detrimental, fucked up path for us to finally get to a place that's we finally at a tilting point. The shit finally came to a ball. It finally came to a head. And right now we got a chance to grab this momentum and never let it go and put ourselves in our natural divine state of being the gods of this earth, man. So we can't that's been our fault. Sympathy. Worried about what white people gonna think. It's time out to worry about what white people gonna think. We gotta stand firm on it. This has gotta be just what it is. But anyway, it says whites might be more willing to accept collective reparations of this kind. So, anyway, what you just sitting up here and just cut out a check for everybody in America not too long ago. But you can't just cut the check out for only black people. That don't make sense to me. You got the power to do it. Y'all used to be able to say, and we niggas believed it. Well, we can't afford it. No, y'all motherfuckers shell out trillions of dollars whenever y'all want to. It's our turn. This article gonna sit here and wait till 13 paragraphs in before it even mentioned financial reparations. Mention all that bullshit. None of that shit ain't on the list for reparations, what they were talking about. None of that shit. Come on. One possibility is to invest. Fuck y'all education. Fuck y'all education. This nigga Trump just signed the bill the other day that's incentivizing skill over education anyway. So, but you wanted one possibility is to invest in education from shoring up predominantly African American elementary schools to special university scholarships. One might argue that affirmative action programs have already accomplished this, but they have been weakened over the decade. This white lady here is very much a white lady talking about affirmative action, but they have been weakened over the decades, and in any case, only apply at that university level. Another opinion is housing investments in predominantly African American residential areas, especially where public housing. So another project. These white folk crazy. I'm sorry, white people. My white people on here. It's been a while. Come back again. I won't be so aggressive towards y'all, but it's been a while since I've been on camera and the shit kind of jumping out of me a little bit. Y'all motherfuckers is a trip though, bruh. I'm just looking at the privilege inside her having the privilege of writing this article. She's quite creative in telling us what we need and telling us what will be better, because white people ain't gonna accept y'all motherfuckers getting the cash payment. So let's just let's just not even let's just graze over the cash payment and see if we can come up with some better things for you guys, cause we can't possibly give y'all the cash that we took from y'all, that we stole from y'all over 500 years. So let's just come up with some. Let's invest in the education and some more projects in the projects on top of the project. Just the 2020 version of the project, whatever she talking about, and then this shit ain't even gonna happen. But I'm just saying, this shit is crazy. The privilege that she got, that she taking in writing this, and we supposed to be me. I'm supposed to be, while I'm reading this article right here, so very much appreciative of the way that she, what I mean, supposedly quote unquote is for reparations for black people. I'm supposed to be like, thank you, little white lady. You really are, you really do see it from our vantage point. No, my lady. Like I said, I don't want to disrespect the lady. I appreciate the sentiment, or at least I did before, I got into the dissection. Anyway, I'm not gonna even I ain't passing judgment on the lady. I'm passing judgment on the article. Americans, let's say, for decades, African Americans have been subject to low quality public housing and mortgage discrimination. Yet another option is investment in African American healthcare. Although one could argue that the whole country deserves this kind, there you go, this kind of investment. Nevertheless, yeah, the reason I say there you go, let's just clear it up, cause we know little white lady don't want no such thing as reparations for black people, cause we know that she was gonna find a way to give it away to everybody else. But it says, yet another option is investment in African American healthcare. Although one could argue that the whole country deserves this kind of investment, nevertheless, if African Americans suffer from some health problems at higher rates than white Americans, then reparations could include enhanced healthcare. Cut the check. Cut the check. Cut the nigga need to make a song. Cut the check. There you go. Rappers, make that song. That's the hook. Cut the check. And then you just, after when you get to your verse, just destroy that bitch. You heard me? That's a hit record, bro. Cut the check. That's what we moving toward. Please, I know it's a rapper gonna watch this shit, bro. Write that song, bro, and when you blow up off of the song, bro, just I don't want no money, bro. Just say where you just tell the people where you got the idea from. Anyway, what was I at? Many white and other Americans may oppose reparations to African Americans. Sound like you do too, on the grounds that neither they nor their ancestors had anything to do with many ways African Americans were and are oppressed. But as citizens, whether the you, yeah, that's they say that shit. I'm just finna go ahead and try to get through the end of this article, man. Then I'll try to. Okay, I'm gonna try to sum it up at the end, but whatever. I had fun already. So if you check out right now, it's fine. But I would like for you to stay to the end. All right, say, but as citizens, whether of the U.S. or in my case, Canada, we have a responsibility to make amends to fellow citizens who have been harmed by the past or present policies of our governments. Acknowledgement is the first step forward. Apologies, memorials, and financial reparations continue the process. Reparations are a way of making the country whole by partially remedying the inherited inequalities that still plague African Americans. They are a way of saying that African Americans are at long last equal citizens of the United States of America and therefore deserving its privileges and protections. And that's the end of the article. Like I said, I wanted to get through that. Now, again, I appreciate the sentiment of the article, and she made some valid points in the article. I didn't want to just come on here and just dispute every point that she tried to make, but at the end of the day, it ain't the same thing as what we talking about when we say reparation. First, the check is first and foremost. And yes, it is a whole bunch of more shit that come after the check. So like I said, you definitely got to check that video out that I did. And if you want just the list, check out the video that I did. But if you want a full, thorough, whole breakdown of what reparations really do entail, then you should check out that video on the Black Authority channel. And it says what the title of that video is, What Black People Demand. Okay, and that was a heavy video, and it gave you answers to the questions. What exactly are reparations and what does it entail? So when you have when it come up, you have something to stand on, and you have a narrative to give, and you have talking points to make, and you making sense. You got to go check out that video right there. I check both of them out. Hey man, this was a decent article. It was alright. It was fun to break it down. This is what I do. I'm gonna become more consistent and drop more videos on the daily basis. I'm going to get back into the swing thing. So it's your boy Ocean, man, the GOAT. This is how we do the shit. Come back again and we'll do it again. We out.